Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is the DC Multiverse Azrael Batman armor figure from McFarlane Toys. McFarlane Toys has been putting out some amazing DC Multiverse, DC Comics figures for some time now. It's been a few waves at this point, and it just feels like it's getting better with every single release. Lots of figures already. It hasn't been a long time, and they have been varied. So this is the Azrael Batman armor from Batman Curse of the White Knight from Sean Gordon Murphy. You know, wasn't a big fan of the comic itself, but this McFarlane has hooked us up with the figure, so I definitely wanted to review my thoughts on the comic withstanding him. Right away, the figure looks solid. Like, it looks really cool. Great depiction of the comic itself. We got some art right there. You know, a pretty solid depiction of it. It's 22 points of articulation. And of course, they all come with a card and stand like that. So let's do our usual breakdown, unboxing, and thoughts on the figure, and go from there. Let's see what we think of what I'm sure this is going to be a pretty popular figure, because, I mean, it's Azrael as Batman. There we go. So this isn't a cloth cape. It's actually a plastic cape, which is why it was a little bit more of a pain in the butt to get out than I would have liked. But as I was joking in a lot of these videos, I don't remember toys being this difficult to get out of their packages when I was a kid. We also had to walk up hills both ways to get our toys. Alright. Alright, so I always like to do a stand test. Can the figure stand on its own without needing an actual stand? And my conclusion here is no. We might be able to do this eventually, but I'm not going to spend 10 minutes trying to do it on a video. So I'm going to go with no. The figure actually does not stand on its own, which is not necessarily a good thing. I tend to deduct points on that one. I like figures where you don't necessarily need to use the stands. There we go, finally. It's a really weird position for it to be in. You can kind of see generally what I had to do. And that's not good. So it seems that a lot of the issue is, one, positioning the legs are kind of, or feet or whatever, is a little weird. But the ankles aren't quite strong enough. There we go. This is a bit better of a position. There we go. I was able to do it twice. This was a pain in the butt. This figure is going to be a figure that falls over a lot, so you're going to want to stand for it if you display it on the stand. All right, let's go with the normal movements. We got the toes up and down, something we discovered with the 40K figures. It's got the ball joint ankles, which I think is part of the issue of the stand. Knees are... We've got the double joints at the knees. The right leg's a little stiff, but with that. Seems like the joints on this figure is really weird. Alright, well, whatever. Waist, or, yeah. Waist, chest, whatever you call it. It's got a twist. The hips. Normal movement. Arms, even with the shoulder pads, are built in to move up a bit, so there is a little bit of restrictions as to where you can put the arm. They get pushed down. Elbow. You can't twist the arm around. The elbow just has the up and down movement. And then we got full at the wrist. Let's go details, though. I'll admit, the legs feel a little flimsy. and a little bit loose to really hold the figure. The depiction of the figure is pretty solid though. So there's like a weird, the position of the legs are a little weird. I don't know how well it'll come off on the video, but there's a lot of like lines and details on the feet, the legs, the armor itself, which really stands out. The armor feels like armor layered, put together, which is cool. You know, that's a good thing. Of course, we've got a lot of utility belts all over, you know, something you expect with Batman. The thing here is it's just kind of painted gold. It's that, the chest, the shoulders, it's flat. Like, I would maybe have liked to see a little bit of shading when it comes to all of that. It's just gold color and that's it. You know, you can do some depth with or some shading with gold and maybe add a little bit more to it, but this is pretty much like, it's not monochromatic, but it's just a very flat figure. We've seen with some of the other stuff that McFarlane has done with the Space Marine, I think was a good example, and the Necron was a good example, is that you can do a little bit more even with simple colors that stand out. So this doesn't quite have that depth of color that I would hope for. The gauntlets are amazing. I'm actually keep on stabbing myself on the gauntlets and the wrist gauntlets. What would you call these? The claws is definitely that one thing, but I don't know what else we could call them. His hands, whatever. I keep on stabbing myself. This one is this. I bumped that back pretty easy. The neck has got a lot of detail on it. You can see kind of the spikes on the back and on the side of the neck, and underneath. So it matches up to the design really, really well. I'm not going to knock that at all. You know, it's just a little flat for me. I kind of wish there was a little bit more coloring to be done with the figure, depth-wise. Like, it's good though. There's nothing bad about this figure. If you are a fan of Azrael or Batman or whatever, you're gonna dig this, or Sean Gordon Murphy's series. Of course, Azrael's got to have his sword. So we got the color is, you know, dead on. Some good detail to it, some depth to it. You know, again, flimsy, so it's bent a little bit, which might irritate collectors. Yeah, let's see here. So you can easily get in this hand, no problem. It looks a little goofy with the open hand. And that seems to be the consistent issue I'd have with these McFarlane toys, is that getting stuff in the hands kind of it's a pain in the butt. And I think I just stabbed myself. Come for the unboxing, stay for the stabbing, apparently. Yeah, that's not easy to get in the hand at all. What is this with toys in their hands and making it difficult of getting weapons in? The 40K figures had that issue as well, at least in the Necron figure generally, or the Marine figure I think had that issue. One of the figures had that issue. Unless I'm missing something. Yeah, unless I'm missing something of how easy it is to get. Oh, we'll just go that way. There we go. That was a little bit easier than sliding it in. I think I only stabbed myself like 3 or 4 times. So yeah, like it's not a bad figure. It's just, it doesn't quite excite me as some of the other releases we've had with it. I think maybe I've spoiled myself with the 40K figures, that I thought those were so fantastic that the rest of these might not be able to live up to that. Sorry. Started with the best, apparently. But overall, like, it's not bad. It's a good depiction of the figure. As I said, I maybe wish there was a little bit more depth to the color, but that's I think the biggest complaint. The layering, I think, is really, really impressive. The detail on the figure is top notch. Taking a comic and rendering it 3D and giving it to that level is great. You know, the rubber cape is cool. I might have done something a little bit different with the cape to maybe allow for more dynamic stuff to be done. But it's not bad. It's just a rubber. You can kind of see it. So overall, like, it's not a bad figure. Like, if you're a fan of Azrael, if you're a fan of this series, whatever, it's worth picking up, or just really a completionist for the collection. But this isn't one I would like go crazy over. I think there's probably some other figures that I would much rather get. I know there's other figures that I would much rather get that they've released so far. So that's my general opinion. Some are good, some aren't. So yeah. I want to thank McFarlane for hooking us up with this copy, this figure for review. Much appreciated. We got much more to go from them. I think there's another like half dozen figures or sets to go through. And we're going to go put together some links where you can purchase your own if you're interested. Some of those might be affiliate links. By doing that, you'll support our site. So thank you. Just by watching this video, support our site. So thank you again. And again, thanks McFarlane Toys for hooking us up with this to show off. If you're looking for the latest McFarlane Toys news, comic news in general, you can check us out, just McFarlane news in general. Check us out every day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep playing with your toys. Most importantly, keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.